Hi, I'm Bethany Carr. Welcome to Pickerington Elementary. We do lots of fun stuff here at Pickerington Elementary. First thing we did this year was we had the mayor of Pickerington, Lee Gray. He came and visited our third grade students and talked to us about third grade standards, like third grade government, and about the local government in Pickerington and how he runs that. We've also had our fourth graders do their wax museum exhibit, where each fourth grader dressed up as a famous person from history, and they taught everybody that went through the museum a little bit about themselves. And now we have Right to Read Week, which is this week. We've been doing fun things to get ready for it. We've had our author visit, Susan Levine, and the illustrator come and visit. Thanks for visiting Pickerington Elementary. I hope you enjoy.
Mayor Gray, if you have any questions at all while we're talking, just raise your hand and I will call on you. And I'm a firm believer that when you're gathering information, there is no question that's wrong. There's no question that you can't ask. So if you have a question, I'll ask that you raise your hand and we'll call on you, and we'll go from there. Because I like the interaction, because you might be thinking of something that I haven't explained, and if you raise your hand and ask a question, then everybody will benefit from that. So is everybody okay with that? All right, raise your hand. Okay, I just see you guys paying attention. Everybody stand up for me. All right. I appreciate it. Everybody stand up. Hey, everybody sit down. Say, hey, you know, even I didn't know the mayor had that much influence. I appreciate that. But I wanted to get your views this morning, like for me. So let's talk about Pickerington. How many of you guys have lived in Pickerington your whole life? There's a few of you, that's a lot. Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Pickerington as well, and I moved here when I was in, guess what grade? Third grade. That was the first year I was in Pickerington, was in third grade. And my school was Heritage, which is now Heritage Elementary, which was like the original school. Did you guys know that was the original school? That's the old Pickerington school. Well, that's where I went to school all the way through 8th grade. I went there. And then Ridgeview, I went to Ridgeview, which was my high school, which is now Ridgeview Junior High, which is where probably most of you will go to junior high, right? They're not sure, but that's a very good question as well. Do I have any other jobs? Because that can lead me into explain to you a little bit about City Pickerington. In Pickerington, the mayor is not a full-time position. The mayor is part-time. Our government is what's called a charter form of government. Say it with me, charter form of government. Say it again, charter form of government. That's right, it's a charter form of government. And what that means is, our residents got together and they put together like the city's constitution. You guys know what the constitution is, right? Okay, think of a charter as the city's constitution. And it lays out how our government is going to run. Well, in our government, it's set up as a mayor, city manager, council form of government. So what three things did I just say? Mayor, city manager, and council form of government, right? Mayor, city manager, council form of government. And in that scenario, what happens is we actually have a full-time city manager who went to school to be involved in city government. That's what he trained for. And then we have an elected mayor who's elected by the people, who is part of that government. And then we have an elected 7-member, how many members? 7-member city council, which is responsible for the legislation. And like I said again, guys, you have been like the best audience I've ever had. It was great to be here. I loved all the questions. And if you get a chance, go downtown Pickerington. There's a museum down there. It's called the Carnegie Library. It's the Carnegie Library. A lot of great Pickerington history there. And I think we really enjoy it. And hopefully you have a little better understanding of Pickerington city government.
All right, everybody, 1, 2, 3.
Hi, I'm Shauna King, and I teach 4th grade here at Pickerington Elementary. And today we're doing the Living Museum, where the students did research on a famous, influential person of their choice, and now have dressed and become that person to share all their facts. We're having, it's so far a really good turnout. They're doing a great job, and I'm really enjoying seeing the facts that they chose, not your typical ones that maybe an adult would choose to share. So it's been really interesting, and I'm learning a lot.
My name is Shirley Temple. I was born on April 23rd in 1928 in California, but I grew up in Hawaii. At age 3, I began taking dance lessons at Mrs. Megan's dance studio. When I was 3, I auditioned for a movie and even got the part. I starred in a lot of movies. One of my first movies was Stand Up and Cheer. I am famous because of all my movies and all the Oscar awards I won. After my movie career, I became a senator. I have breast cancer, but I won the battle against it. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to your local library.
Hello, my name is Dr. May Carol Jamison. I was born on October 17, 1957 in Decatur, Alabama. I have 2 siblings, Ada and Charles Jr. My father, Charles Sr., was a carpenter, and my mother, Dorothy, was a school teacher. When I was just 16, I made up my mind to follow a career in medicine and engineering. When I was in medical school, the American Medical Student Association, I went to Kenya to help give medical treatment to the villagers and Cambodian refugees in Thailand. In 1988, I became an astronaut. I moved to Houston, Texas, and started a hard 4-year training program. In 1991, NASA chose me for their space program. Then, on September 12, 1992, I had my first flight on Space Shuttle Endeavour. To learn more about me, go to a local library near you.
Hello, my name is Miley Ray Cyrus. I was born on November 23rd, 1992 in Franklin, Tennessee. I am an actress, singer, and superstar. My real name is Destiny Hope Cyrus. When I was 15, I changed it to Miley Ray Cyrus. Throughout my Best of Both Worlds concert, I visited kids at Children's Hospital. My Sweet 16 celebration was hosted at Disneyland in California. I asked fans to join in the fun at $250 per ticket. Admission was not cheap, but I had a very good reason. Disney donated $1 million to Youth Service America in my honor. Today, I am still living the dream and helping more and more charities. I teach kids that no matter how great a challenge, you can fulfill anything. To learn more about me, visit your local library.
Hello, my name is Helen Keller. I was born June 27, 1880. When I was 18 months old, I had a terrible fever and it left me blind and deaf. My parents brought me to the doctors, but they couldn't help. Then my parents heard of a teacher in a school and called her. Her name was Annie Sullivan, and when I was 6 years old, she came to live with me to teach me well. I also met another teacher that taught me how to talk. Her name was Sarah Fuller, and when I was 14 years old, my goal was to go to a normal college with students blind and with students that could see and hear. I worked very hard for the exams and I got in. I traveled all around the world and gave many speeches. Today I am famous because I was the first person blind and deaf to go to a normal college. I died June 1st, 1968, a few days before my 88th birthday.
My name is Bindi Sue Irwin. My parents are Terry and Steve Irwin. I was born July 24th, 1998 in Queensland, Australia. I also have a little brother named Robert. I may be a little girl, but I leave a big impact on people. In 2006, when my father died after an accident in an underwater documentary, me and my mom and Robert were very sad, but we decided to continue his work with animals. I have been in many TV shows, I have been in movies, I have been on the Today Show and in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I even got the Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Performer in a Children's Series. If you want to learn more about me, check out a book at the library.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Jawida. I was born in 1788 to a show in Shooting Shack. When I was 12 years old, I got captured by a group of Pizza Indians. 1 year later, I was sold to South Asian hairdresser. He made me his wife. When Lewis and Clark came by, they asked me if I could go along on the expedition. I said yes. In 1808 and 1805, I gave her to my son, Jake. On the way to the west side, we ran into a group of Pizza Indians. I noticed the leader was my brother, Camelot. On the way to soon we found the west side. We knew this because we ran into a group group of Indians. I noticed the later with my brother camel walking. In 1808, I gave birth to my daughter Lucita. This was the same time I left the expedition. A few months later, I died and left both kids in close care.
Hi, I'm Bethany Carr, third grade teacher at Pickerington Elementary, and we're here today for Right to Read Week, and we have had the privilege of having an author, a local author, come in. Her name is Susan Levine, and she wrote the book Packard Takes Flight. We also were able to have an illustrator come visit, and the best part that the kids really loved was a real live peregrine falcon that they were able to meet and ask questions about and get to see. So what we started off with was a big assembly and where all three people spoke, and now we're doing small groups where the illustrator is speaking, the author is speaking, and the kids are able to see the falcon again up close.
So this is a signature, but if you open it back up, we'll see where we get the number 32. So you have 4 squares on the top, 4 squares on the bottom, that makes 8. But then you've got 8 on the other side, correct? So that makes 16. And books are usually made out of 2 pieces of paper. So 16 and 16 is 32. That's correct. So most books are made out of 32 pieces of paper. Another interesting thing about book printing is about color. And you probably already know a lot about color because you probably have a color printer at home. How many of you have a color printer at home? Okay, good. Now what happens if you're printing at home and you want to print off a photo of something and one color is out of ink? What happens to your picture? Do you notice a difference? Yeah. Does everybody look green or everybody look blue? You need all the colors to balance out exactly to get the right color. That is a little bit about color. Here's a butterfly now. This shows you color broken down. Look up here. So this butterfly, the color for this butterfly, you need all those colors. If you just printed the cyan or the blue, that's what it would look like. If you just printed the magenta, if you just printed the yellow, or if you just printed the black. So you need all of those together, or working together. Now this butterfly uses a lot of yellow. You see that? It uses a lot of yellow. But, yeah, he's using every one of those colors.
Bigger or smaller than you thought she'd be? How many think she's bigger than what you thought she'd be? How many think she's smaller? Really? All right, interesting. All right, well, actually, she's very large for a peregrine falcon. The girls are bigger than the boys. They're also smart. All right, so the peregrine falcon is the fastest known animal. Now, the fastest land animal, as you know, is the cheetah. So the peregrine is the fastest animal, going between 230 and 250 miles per hour. Now, flying straight out, like if you see a hawk fly, if the peregrine's flying and flapping their wings, she's at about 80 to 90 miles per hour, like that, when she's flapping her wings. But in a power dive, which she's kind of free falling, she's going to be going head first towards her prey. At that time, she's able to reach 200 to 250 miles per hour. Now, what is the prey of peregrines? Anybody know? Yes. Birds. What kind of birds do you think she might eat? Ostrich? Starling. She's going to eat smaller birds. A robin. She might eat a robin. Oh, hummingbird. Actually, her younger cousin, the kestrel, loves to eat hummingbirds. She's probably not going to waste your time on this one, right? Yep. Pigeons. That's her primary food source.